Welcome back to 9446 for another diecast review. And today, it's another throwback diecast. We have Austin Dillon's 2021 Bass Pro Shops Bass Tracker Darlington throwback. And my goodness, man, this is a retro throwback to one of the older cars. And it is absolutely incredible. I'm here to review the paint scheme because I do not remember that paint scheme from many years ago. I have seen slight pictures of it, but of course, this paint scheme looks really, really incredible. I loved seeing this car come back with Austin Dillon. You know, it's a really cool paint scheme. Just looked it up just now, and it is a driver named Fireball Roberts from what I saw. And my goodness, man, this is an absolutely incredible diecast. I love the look of it. And it's just, even as a regular paint scheme, even as a retro-style paint scheme, it looks awesome. So we're going to get this diecast out of the box. And of course, it's an interesting 3 throwback because it is not a Childress number 3 or an Earnhardt car for that matter. It is actually a different kind of 3, or a different kind of paint scheme for a different car. So that's very, very cool. As you can see, the camera focuses in, it's out of the box, and yes, the gold is metallic on this car, as you can tell. The gold is indeed metallic. And when I seen the 3 car roll up to Darlington with this beautiful throwback, I was like, man, Austin Dillon, when this team wants to run throwbacks, they really go all out with it. Absolutely incredible. Love it when they go all out. So you got number 3 right there, Richard Childress. You got Bass Pro Shops with Johnny Morris's name, Brown Derby. It looks like it says National Associates Springfield MO, or I can't really read that, so I don't want to butcher that. You got Austin Dillon, you got the Chevy logos. Next to the dive planes, you have the Sunoco, Goodyear, the original NASCAR Cup Series logo, NASCAR Salutes, which is, by the way, wow, it's actually pretty lined up. You got Austin Dillon's name right there. The changed font for the 3. A big deal. Change fonts for throwbacks, and they did it. That's great. You got Easy Go, Lucas Oil, Sherwin-Williams, Coca-Cola, Johnny Morris, Bass Pro Shops. You got Huck Fishing, Workrise, Bass Tracker. You have American Ethanol, Dow, and Breasttree. Of course, you got Okuma, Bass Pro Shops, and Bass Tracker. Chevy with the rear view camera, number 3. You got ZL1 Camaro 1LE. Bass Tracker again. Austin Dillon, Bass Tracker again. And of course, for the number on the roof of the car and all around the car, white outline with a red number fill-in with the original Fireball Roberts style font. Very, very cool. They changed the font for the throwback. Highly appreciated on their end. And of course, it starts out with where it's just kind of a split front design where it's like a fool's gold, as Philip Torr has referred to the Harvick car, the fool's gold style wrap. So of course it starts out, and it's pretty interesting because it's kind of like a stripe and a round like wheel well wrap, where it starts out towards the nose of the red outline, and it's got the little stripe in the middle. It just like takes half and half, leaves that little gap in the middle, and it just shoots all across the front of the car. And towards the wheel well, this red stripe continues into a round shape for the gold to still shine through there. Of course, you got the Chevrolet bullhorn right there to make the windows look bigger, just like the street car. That's why they do that, but sometimes it doesn't look that way because they keep changing the colors of it. And of course, the rest of this car is black. So really, the big design to this car, of course, is the gold thick striping with the red outline to it. It looks great. It's like a whole wrap towards the wheel well. As you can see, retro Goodyears, always appreciate those on a throwback diecast. But yeah, very big gap. You can see right there, those sponsors covering up that beautiful golden paint right there, or wrap, I should say. You know, it's just a great paint scheme. You know, when I first saw this, I knew right off the bat this was a throwback and not a generic company throwback. This was going to be to a car, and I knew it. I did research a little bit before I continued the review, and I saw Fireball Roberts' name on there. And it's absolutely a beautiful paint scheme that they chose because, you know, gold and red and black make a pretty interesting Bass Pro Shops paint scheme. You know, this is why I wish Martin Truex Jr. had better throwbacks, because Bass Pro Shops is capable of making beautiful throwbacks. And this car is definitely proof of it. You know, they didn't run a throwback this year for 2022. at the time of recording this video as of yet, not for the official throwback race, which blows my mind. How in the world does an iconic team like Childress not have a throwback for a throwback event? Blows the hell out of me. But at least in 2021, we got this one. And I really like it, though, because they chose a beautiful match design. And just the red outline with the gold. And it's just a very nice retro wrap. I love it, man. I dig it. This car is definitely a 10 out of 10 accurate throwback. I mean, maybe the sponsors were not exact. I saw a picture of the car, but I did not see what sponsor was on the car. But you know what? It does the job regardless. It's an absolutely a great car. Absolutely a great diecast to get for you, Austin Dillon. How in the world is Austin Dillon not getting any more than 3 cars? Well, at least he has the basics. He has a primary, a throwback, and a patriotic video that's coming. Or a patriotic car that I'm going to do a video on. But that's really all he has. You know, he has the basics, you know, nothing too crazy, nothing much when it comes to the release schedule. It's not like he's getting 10 diecasts per year, you know, like other drivers. There's a couple drivers like him that just get a couple diecasts, you know, they get the basics, the throwback, sometimes only the throwback, sometimes only the patriotic, and sometimes only the primary. You know, it is definitely worth it. To get the cars you can released of each driver. I mean, this is how it would be years ago. You know, sometimes you would most weeks have one paint scheme throughout the season. You know, only time you would change it or alter it would be for a throwback or a patriotic. The 3 car, of course, has a bunch of paint schemes. We know that. We've seen it. He has a bunch of paint schemes that Lionel never releases. But I'm glad they at least get the basics. Give us a primary, a throwback, and a patriotic. And that's all you need. And it absolutely looks great. It works for certain teams. And is that a paint chip under the... Yep, that is a paint chip right there. So it looks like this thing got into the fence before I even bought it. But it is what it is, man. It still looks great. Black, gold, and red. Very beautiful color combination and a very well done throwback. So I'm going to give you guys a 360 view of this beautiful throwback Chevy Camaro. Just like the Ross Chastain. This is just a hot throwback, man. Very accurate. Just very, very hot in the throwback market. This one's going to definitely, for people that like the throwbacks, this is definitely one you're going to have to get because it's just gorgeous, man. Just a gorgeous 3-car, man. Absolutely incredible. And yes, I probably would have chosen this paint scheme as a throwback for the 3 because it just looks great. Or a Martin Truex Jr. You know, any Bass Pro Shops can do great throwbacks when they want to. Childress can do great throwbacks when they want to. And they wanted to in 2021. Absolutely a beautiful diecast. So thank you guys for checking out this diecast review. Comment, like, and subscribe for more diecast reviews on the channel. And we will see you guys in the next diecast reviews that are coming out. And always remember to make sure you know what you're doing when you're putting decals on your diecast, folks.